The tiny details of the world around us can make for some great photo subjects. Before you start shooting close-ups, check your lens manual to see what the minimum close focusing distance is. Whether you want a shallow, medium, or extreme depth of field, take control by setting the camera mode to aperture priority. Usually, when shooting nature, photographers use a very shallow depth of field. But if you want the viewer to be able to clearly see all details throughout the frame, you need to go the other direction and stop down the aperture as far as possible. To decrease the depth of field, you have two choices: zoom in or get close to your subject. To get a depth of field beyond what your aperture settings allow, you may need to back away, zoom out, or both. And keep in mind you can always crop your image later to show just the parts you want to feature. Pay attention to the shutter speed too, especially when shooting nature scenes outdoors. Even a slight breeze can cause your subject to move, and if you're set at a slow shutter speed, things can get blurry. If you're shooting close-ups outdoors, feel free to experiment with the flash. A tiny bit typically improves photos when the sun is your primary light source. On the flip side, if you're shooting indoors, try not to use the flash as your primary light source. It might be too harsh, even at a low flash compensation setting. To really get close to your subject, invest in a macro lens. A true macro lens, which enables you to get really close to your subjects, typically costs a bit more than other utility lenses. But if you enjoy capturing the tiny details in life, it's worth the investment.